right, if you've been following along, you know that we've been going over this poem called The Aliveness by Ili Chiara in his book Life is Eternal Newness. And we broke this poem into four pieces. And this last one is quite challenging. He's really just summarizing and leaving us to our own devices, really. I want to read the poem here, and then I just might read the little bit of write-up that he included with it afterward. He said, "There is nothing left of the ego, only a lucid attention, a state of enlightenment. Thus, the aliveness reveals itself to us in this very life, enveloping us completely. When we die physically, we only melt with this aliveness, detached from everything that tied us to life, the various bondages to persons, things, fame, glory, or ideas that bind us. Is it easy? Difficult? Do you understand what I have just described? From direct personal experience, or just intellectually? When the mind only understands words connected grammatically, what the author describes has not been understood. Try again, reread, remain alone with yourself as one movement. It is just a clear, simple, and direct experience. The entity who tries to know, tries to accumulate, and tries to understand the unknowable is totally excluded. The merit is solely yours. Through a real experience, any teacher is excluded. Try to understand the meaning of what this verse merely points to. This is a completely different way of being, and the words and the verses and the things that I'm saying can only point to what the reality is, to what this isness is. Non-dual. There's not two, and that includes you and your inner world. There's not the thinker and the listener in you. There is only you. There's not the body-mind. There is only you. And so he says there's nothing left of the ego. There's no sense of an I, of a particular, of an originator, of a controller. There's just simply isness in the moment where there is no change. The past is dropped, the future is negated, there's only is. He says that in this state, when we let go of past and future, when we let go of ideas, when we detach from the ideas of what we are physically, what we are as we describe ourselves from the outside in, if we let go of all of that and return to this beautiful silence that is within us, that has been disturbed for so long by the ego, by the existence of ego, which has caused us to see things in a dual way, hot, cold, up, down, left, right, all of these things, when there is none of those things. He says when we die physically, that we only melt into this aliveness, into this immensity, this being, detached from everything that tied us to life, all the things we're holding on to that maintain a body and a mind. It's beyond that, he says. And he's wondering, there's many ways to understand this. One is to understand it just intellectually, just by the grammatical structure of the words and the sentences. And he says that's not where it lies. It doesn't lie in the mind. It lies in the silence of the heart. He says what the author has described has not been understood by those. Try again, reread. So sit with this material, even with this whole poem. Just sit with it, he says, alone. Reread. Remain alone with yourself as one movement, right? No conversation inside. Just simple reading with no resistance, letting the words wash over you, and in that silent space to reveal their meaning to you. It's just a clear, simple, and direct experience. Now, when they say a direct experience, uh, to me that means not coming through the senses, but coming from your inner nature. It's a sense of clarity. It's a resolution that's higher than anything the senses provide. It's where visions occur, where deep prayer, deep communion occur within ourself. He says the merit is solely yours. It's completely up to you when this happens, when you're willing to let go, when you're willing to lay down, when you're willing to surrender and to say that you just can't figure it out. He says that it's all just being pointed at, even by these words, because it's something indescribable, because it doesn't fit into the paradigm that our mind uses to construct the universe that we run around in within our mind. And so we have to abandon all of that and rest quietly without ownership or expectation or result in our divine nature, to allow our pure love to express, to allow our wisdom to express, and to do it all through being free in the moment, unencumbered by a past, unalarmed by a future, just simply being in this moment, in a silence pregnant with peace,